see. I need to see if I can hear myself and all that good stuff as well. Let me see. Hear myself? Let me see. Okay, I can hear myself. So we can. Alright, so I am going to do one thing real quick before I start. I'm going to share this. Copy the link and I'm going to put it up on this thing. Now, we can ball. What is good, everybody? It is your boy JJ That Dude, and we are back for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. And I know someone in the comments going to be looking at me saying, JJ, why'd you do this game like that? You could have ended this game. Look. I had to be busy. I had to do that Batman, and I gotta still finish Batman whenever I get the chance. Which I'm gonna have to try and grind out and get rid of that Batman game. I think I have like like 6 or like 7 more chapters I gotta do with that game. So once I do that, I'll be good. I can probably try and finish the game if I can, and then go from there. Because after I do this, I gotta do the Sonic game, and so on and so forth. You know how it is. But yeah, last time I think where we left off, Baron Van Zeeks was, what's the word I'm looking for? He was, brought to, well, he's about to be brought to court, but he was arrested for the, crime of killing, Tobias Gregson and all that good stuff. Which I'm very surprised to hear that. I mean, he's a prosecutor, but hey, technically Edgeworth got arrested for the same nonsense too. So what am I to complain? And of course, Kazuma is there, so it's gonna be me versus Kazuma, and the action's gonna be legendary the entire time. So we gotta lock in on that. So we shall continue and go to trial part 1. Oh, let's go, and we shall ball, and hopefully I don't get cooked. So the 2nd of November, 8:06 a.m. the Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. Oh, my throat's okay though, cause yeah, my throat's already feeling the crap. There's that old familiar feeling again. The crushing pressure of this historic courthouse. Actually, no, it's a little different today. There's an even more menacing tension in the air. There is a menacing tension in the air here today, isn't it there, I suppose? Yes, I think so. It can only be the result of the menacing appearance of the defendant. A little more courtesy, if you please. Oh my, I do apologize. However, you're certainly not mistaken that this trial is far from ordinary. What do you mean? I'm not privy to the details, or privy to the details. However, I understand that no jury has been selected. A trial without a jury? Well, that's just like the trial of the professor 10 years ago. A closed court. Good morning, my dear fellows. Mr. Sholmes. Have you made note of my hair, Mr. Naruhodo? An outright victory for science, you must agree. To be perfectly honest, so much happened yesterday that, well, I completely forgot about your little hair problem. Ha! What to one man is a little hair problem, is to another a day of drinking dubious potion after dubious potion. You have no idea how my stomach ails me this morning. Oh dear, how awful for you. I'm afraid you only have yourself to blame. Oh, I'm afraid you have only yourself to blame, Mr. Jones. I thought he was going to say it to himself. And good morning to you, Mr. Reaper. I'm delighted to see you looking so full of vim. And I you. What kind of, I don't know what kind of thing that is. That kind of, I'm surprised they say to you too or something like that. And I you, I don't know how to say anything about that. You got that. I see London's celebrated great detective is as active as ever. Active, hey, that's a good word. We're gonna say active from now on. Instead of active, we're gonna say active. Look at as active as ever. Not active, but active. Oh, you exaggerate, my dear fellow. Compared to my paltry engagements with a few trivial cases, the Reaper's overbearing presence is a far greater deterrent to the black roots of crime in our capital. He's kind of cool. And whilst I may not agree with your methods, there is at least one point on which I would readily commend you. What an honor. And that would be your eye for a good lawyer, sir. He's like, huh? How dare you say my judgment of lawyers are okay-ish at best? What do you mean? Well, Mr. Sholmes. After all, behind this lawyer is a very great mind. My own. What are you trying to say or imply? I wish only to say that you should be prepared for quite a trial, Mr. Reaper. He's like, what the? I felt a dog in him. Sorry to barge in. Oh, Gina and Silver. Gina? What's that on her arm? It's a morning bed, I suppose. Father, shouldn't you be at the symposium? It's been postponed, so I have some free time. I decided to come along with the police inspector to see our country's up-and-coming student in action. I shall be very interested to see the fruits of your studies over the past year. Well, it's an honor to have you here. Let's hope there are some fruits to see. Oh no. Oh, yes, Gina? Why'd you agree to this, eh? Why'd you take him on? Well, Gina, didn't I take you on? Didn't I take you on when you were in a bad spot? I believe in my clients. This Reaper bloke. Everyone says it was him. What killed the boss? I'm sorry, Gina, but I just don't believe that. Well, if it weren't him, who was it? Well, Gina, we gotta figure that out. Look, Gina, when you were in your bad case, who helped you out? Who had your back? That was me. I had your back. And Susato had your back to, to a good degree to help us, carry the case when she, she gave me that little thing. Well, thanks to Sholmes, but that's not the point, though. But look, we gotta get all the help we can understand again. We gotta know about the case. I don't know that yet. I don't care who calls him what. The Reaper's just a name. He's just a person at the end of the day. And if it turns out it was him who killed the boss, then God help him. He's like, fury eyes, indeed. Yes, the culprit deserves every ounce of your loathing. Hey, Pixel PI, how are you doing? Crap, I don't know if you're actually, wait, have you been on my stream before? I don't know if you've been on my stream before, actually, funny enough, I have not known. I don't remember. I think it's probably your first time, but if it is, how are you doing? My apologies if I don't know, because, like, my memory's not all that great, sadly. Eh? At least, that may be some solace to the deceased. Please, Odo. Get whoever did this. First time, doing good. How about you? I'm doing alright. My voice feels like crap, but if it goes to the back like that, then I will give me some water. Which I just need to go downstairs for. It'll probably take like 46 to get back. For the boss. Oh, Gina. I hate feeling this useless, but there's nothing I can do. So you gotta find whoever did this and make the wretch pay. Hey, don't worry. I'll make the wretch pay. Don't worry about that. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court will be in session shortly. Make your way to the courtroom at once, please. Alright then. There we go. Sad thing about it is, I don't know who the person who did it is, sadly. That's the sad thing about it. I don't know who did it. I can't tell who did it though. I can't tell, bro. My mind is saying he has something to do with it. And I'm surprised that these two came really quick for the symposium. I really don't understand, but I guess they had to bring everyone out there. But I'm just suspicious about this guy right here. That's all I can know. That's the only one I could say something for is Daily Vigil. You sorry, you're a voice actor? Absolutely not. I am not a voice actor. I am definitely not a voice actor. I would like to be a voice actor in the future, though. But yeah, I'm definitely, sadly, not a voice actor. I wish I was, though. But I'm not ready for that yet, apparently. And I have to do every voice possible. And that's the problem. I wish I had more people that could voice act for me on PlayStation, so I would be good. Cause I gotta do her voice, I gotta do his voice. It's not like what's that dude from Yu-Gi-Oh? Jack Atlas. I gotta sound like Jack Atlas for him. I gotta do Iris' voice. I gotta do his voice. I gotta do everybody's certain type of voice. And it feels weird because three people's voice almost sounds the same. Mel Strongheart, maybe Jigoku to some degree, or any judge in particular. And then maybe him, but just in a weird Russian-like voice. So it just feels really bad. You know what? You know what? While I'm at it, I'm gonna give me some water. Y'all give me a second. I'm gonna give me some water. And that's gonna suck because I gotta do voice acting for Monster Prom 2 on Twitch. Why they gotta do me like this? Trying to get as much as I can done because I also got to react to Disadventure Camp. So let me lock in on that. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. Lord Van Zeeks. Alright. No, yeah, let me ask though, are you a Grace Attorney person? Gotta ask that because I might not know if you go by they, them, you know, he, him, she, her, so I gotta ask. I'm not trying to get caught slipping. One who lost his treasured brother to a mass murderer, professor, but that's his point. One who lost his treasured father in a foreign court of law, that's the professor, professor. And one who lost the man who helped her escape destitution, Tobias Gregson. All that misfortune, all that pain, on course to collide headlong in this trial. It's time to shine a light on all these dark events. And whatever truth is revealed, we're going to have to look it straight in the eye. And luckily, they don't have no jury, so that's actually perfect. Because I'd had to do the jury's the jury's voice line as well, and that's already terrible enough as is. The 2nd of November, 9:20 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. Yeah, perfect. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here to conduct the fair and just trial of the defendant, Beric Van Zeeks. Counsels for the defense and the prosecution, are you ready to begin? The defense is ready, my lord. The prosecution is more than ready. Oh, Cosmo-sama. I go by he, him, or they, them. I'm actually a fan of Ace Attorney. I'm actually developing an Ace Attorney inspired to the game. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, either or is fine. I had to make sure, man. I gotta make sure, because, look, man. I don't want to just, assuming that I get cooked, man. Look, man. I can't be telling sometimes. I gotta ask, gotta ask. Oh, yeah, but how's that game going, though, if you're still doing it, though? How's it going, though, with the inspired game? I've been wishing to see you in court again for so long. It feels... But I never pictured it happening like this. I never thought I'd be facing you behind the prosecution's bench. The so-called Reaper of the Bailey has been a scourge like no other, undermining Her Majesty's justice system. Today, we must uncover the truth behind the scourge. In other words, this trial is going to be a lot more far-reaching than Inspector Gregson's murder. The truths revealed by the prosecuting... I'm stupid. I'ma shut up. Let me reread it. I was thinking about prosecution. But my bad, it gotta be the proceedings. My apologies. That's why I say I can't read too fast. So let's go back again. The truths revealed by these proceedings may have unpredictable repercussions through the judiciary. Accordingly, they are to be concluded as a closed trial with no members of the public presented. By Her Majesty's direct orders. How will that work, my lord? The burden of all arbitrations and adjudications fall on my shoulders. Therefore, as you will see, the juror's bench shall remain vacant today. If no members of the public are present, might I ask who is currently occupying the gallery, my lord? You said the game is doing great. I'd be happy to give you a Steam key if you're interested. The game allows you to type questions. I mean, I can. I mean, my PC is over there on the left, so like technically I could do it for you. If you would like me to, I'll probably even do it for a stream. If that is good. I gotta figure out what time I would do that thing though, but yeah, I probably would. I mean, ain't got no problem. Like I've been doing what you call it? The Kill Cure game. I've done even the what's the other one I've done? For the other dog robot like game? Forgot. There's Kill Cure and then there's that other dog robot like game. I forgot what it's called. Let me check it because it's over here somewhere. Hold up. Folder, can you open up real quick? There you go, Project Eden Garden. It's that Project Eden's Garden thing. So there you go. So I've done Project Eden Garden with it, and then I've done Kill Cure with it though. So I wouldn't mind doing the well, not Danganronpa, but like technically Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney type of game, you know, all that good stuff for it. There are members of the judiciary here to witness proceedings and ensure an equitable trial. Members of the judiciary. Oh my, this is a very unusual trial already. There is of course another unprecedented aspect to these proceedings on which I must elaborate. You said that's great. Where can I share the Steam keys with you? Do you have a Discord, TikTok, anything like that? Because I got, got TikTok, I kinda got Instagram, and I got Discord if you want Discord. Either or is fine with me though. Either or is fine with me. The counsels for the prosecution and defense are both aliens of Great Britain. I believe it takes an outsider to see the truth sometimes. Okay, that's fine. I can give you my Discord. Technically I have my other thing on the Discord, but I can just give you my Discord. That's fine with me. Give me a second. I can give you my link. Okay, let me ask this. Let me ask this before I send. Okay. Do you want it to be my Discord or like my Discord server? Let me ask that, because I know not a lot of people are, okay with the Discord server, but let me ask you before I just instantly just send it. But I forgot my boy Cosmo's voice. That's the sad thing about it. I believe it takes an outsider to see the truth sometimes. Maybe that might be a little better. And as I stand here in this courtroom now, I'm quite certain this is the reason why I had to come to Britain. Cosmo. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. That's fine. Daggone, why did Kai send me a... Bro, Kai knows I'm streaming. And then I can just do everything I can on the Discord with it, which is fine. So I notice things slip sometimes. There you go. Kazuma? Very well. Let us commence proceedings. Prosecutor Osogi. Is it Osagi or is it like Osogi? I think it's Osogi though. Your opening statement, if you please. Certainly, my lord. The incident took place on the 1st of November at just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The location was a building of flats on Fresno Street, on the outskirts of the city. The victim's body was discovered there in an old single-room rental property. Yes, Inspector Tobias Gregson, a name known very well indeed to this court. Not least for his miraculous resolution of one of this country's grimmest cases 10 years ago. The professor case. How sure are you about the time of the incident? Several witnesses on the street outside heard the gunshot, and all have reported at the same time. Yes, that's what Gina told us too. There were a number of witnesses. Alright, okay, so real quick. Okay, hold up. Okay, let me go on my other thing with it. I'll have this up here just so I don't forget though. Okay, let me get this up here. Boom, have it up here. Have this for later. Boom, boom. There we go. That works for me. All right, bet. Bet I got it up here, so it should be good. So once I finish this and I finish what you call it? Crap, I forgot the heck one thing. Once I finish this in this adventure camp, I'll look at the YouTube thing for it. And I'll put the Steam key up there for you, just to look at, you know, go all there with that, just so I don't forget. I have here a plan of the room. Okay. The victim was found curled up in one corner. It's believed that he was shot from the front at point blank range and died instantly. No problem, man. No problem. I got you. And I probably will have it on the, like, streaming it and stuff. Don't know when, like I said. I don't know when I will stream it, though, but I would stream it, though. How was the range been determined? There were scorch marks around the entry wound. Such marks are caused by the gunpowder used to fire the bullets. Well, Cosmo knows his guns too. Okay, you know about your swords and you know about your guns. What don't you know? Like, I feel like he knows about cars at this point. But powder hot enough to leave scorch marks is only ejected a few inches beyond the end of the barrel. In other words, it only happens when the target is at point blank range. Okay, you're not lying, I guess. Okay, that's fair though. I see. Yes. Thank you for the detailed explanation, Counsel. Alright, so autopsy report for Gregson. Okay, you got the murder weapon. Hey, you got everything. Okay, let me just make sure. Okay, wow, my bad. Okay, so I gotta remember this. They made it think that this is important, though. So this must be important, though. This must be important. We don't need to check that. We don't need to check that out either, but, I ain't gonna lie. Why do Evie still look good, though? Evie just looking good, bro. Why Evie bitch gotta be looking good? Hey, do I need to check the gun? Oh wait, what the? Wait, I never checked the how did I never check the gun? Why? I thought I checked the gun. So this is a type of revolver that's standard issue for members of the judiciary then. Yes, and when I asked about whether records are kept about who they're issued to, I was told that for the past 5 years, they've been engraved with a unique serial number. Oh, but as far as I can tell, there's nothing like this on this gun, which tells us that it must have been issued longer ago than that. Okay, so what they're saying is... Oh, is this a murder weapon? Then this... Okay, then it's not the dude's weapon then. Because it doesn't got a, what you call it? A serial number here. So, And it said longer ago. Like, how long ago is it? Like, is it gonna be longer than, like, these two kind of... Like, these three type of thing? Or, like... Because it's that long ago. So if it's longer ago than him, it has to be someone that's older than him. Would it be like Daly's gun? Would it be like Barry's gun? Would that be like... I don't know at this point. I don't even know. I mean, could it be his own gun? I don't really know. It could be any of these people's guns. Like, how am I supposed to know? The murder weapon was found lying beside the victim. And have you managed to ascertain the owner of this firearm? No, my lord. Not conclusively. Bravo, Kazuma-sama. We're not trying to use the gun as evidence when its provenance cannot be proven. Furthermore, my lord, as I've explained, the revolver was fired at extremely close range. The bullet passed through the victim and struck the wall behind him. There is a candelabrum mounted on the wall. See, I don't know why people have that thing, but they got that though. And the tip of one of the candles in it was found to have been blown off by the projectile. We noticed that too, didn't we? Yes, that's right. Thank you for your thorough report, Counsel. The setting of the crime is clear to me. You will submit the plan of the crime scene as evidence, please. As you wish, my lord. Crime scene floor plan has been entered into the court record. Yay. Is this Fresno Street room Inspector Gregson's private abode? No, my lord. The room is rented to a Mr. Hugh Bone. Or is it Hugh and then Boone? I don't know. Alright, well, someone did say something about it being a Hugh Bone. Okay, we did look into that. We did look at that. Anything else I need to look at? Okay. Because when we read this... Yeah, then we twisted it, that's where we had the key, right? Or whatever it was. And then when we read this, just want to make sure it looks alright. And then, yeah, we gotta know what it's for. Okay, good to know. Got that. Yeah, we did check that as well. Okay, that's good as well. Okay, let's just look at this. Okay, Tobias Gregson's victim, obviously, age 45. Nationality is British, makes sense, time of death. Oh, so Maria Gorey did it this time. So I'm assuming that's the, what you call it? The woman that was... Courtney Sykes, you know, little daughter. There you go. That's better, we say. Cause of death. Victim was shot in the chest at close range. Resulting in instant death. Court marks at point entry. The bullet exited the body from behind. The caliber of the gun had used of standard issue firearms from a member of the judiciary. Okay, so it's of judiciary. Wait a minute. Okay. He does judicial matters. He doesn't. He does. Y'all making me special of 2 people now. Because it says standard. If it ain't him, the only ones we know of so far that are part of a judicial thing is literally Mel Strongheart and Jigoku, my bad. Y'all making, you know what, y'all making me think too hard into this, bro. Literally, it's only because I read this one report and it said judiciary, so I'm thinking of 2 people, the 2 people that are of judiciary or anything of that nature is these 2, 1 and 2. Y'all making me just think too much into this, I'm sorry. Let me just keep going. But there is a precious little furniture inside, and it is generally in a poor state of repair. So what on earth was Gregson even doing there? Presumably he was investigating some kind of case or something, or other. For some dumb reason. When a policeman was informed of the gunshot from the witnesses and reached to the scene, rushed to the scene, he found only the deceased inspector and the accused standing alongside holding the revolver. The attending officer arrested the accused on the spot. So, the details of this case are clear. In that case, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. A name, please, counsel. Naturally, the accused himself. Lord Van Zinks? As a prosecutor, he believes in the oath of an office he's taken and will be compelled to tell the truth. Very well. Let the defendant take the witness stand. Let's go. I believe him. Yeah, look at him. Just standing looking like cool with it. So, witness. State your name and occupation for the court. Peric Van Zeeks, Old Bailey prosecutor. I presume, Lord Van Zeeks, that you heard Prosecutor Suzuki's opening process. I did. It is alleged that you were found at the scene of the crime, and that you were arrested by the arriving police officer. Can you confirm this? Yes, my lord. Then I'm sure the court would like to hear you explain some things away. Namely, why you were there in the room on Fresno Street at the time in question, and what exactly took place. I intend to explain away nothing. I will simply tell the truth. I must say, Lord Van Zeeks, I never imagined this day would come. Or rather, I didn't want to imagine it would come. But since you became known as the Reaper, a part of me has been dreading it away. Or dreading it. Your formal testimony then, witness. Who just texted me? Dang, I just got texted. Alright, let's go. The facts of the incident, we ball in. I was investigating Gregson, and my inquiries had led me to that address. When I first entered the room that day, it was dark inside and I saw no one. A moment later, I heard the gunshot. I spun around and saw the revolver on the floor. Okay. Excuse me. So he heard the gunshot and he spun around. Saw the revolver on the floor. Okay. As I picked up the firearm to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of the Inspector Gregson appeared before me. That testimony was the whole truth? It was. So, you heard a shot being fired in a room with no living occupants. And moments later, a corpse somehow appeared before your eyes? Is that it? You're right. You haven't explained away anything. In fact, that would barely qualify as an excuse. I thought you were my mute apprentice. Yet it turns out you have a way with words, Prosecutor Asogi. It would appear to be a singular tale indeed. Singular isn't the word. It's laughable. What's gotten into Cosmo? He's not behaving like himself at all. Very well then. Counsel, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. There we go. And let me text him. I might be ready around 5:30. I told him around 5:30ish. All right, there you go. Let's go. Guest press everything. I don't really pay attention. You were investigating the inspector? What on earth for? I'm not at liberty to say. Sorry? I'd identify as a distinct possibility that Gregson was involved in a case I was investigating. Regrettably, though, he was killed before I could secure the proof I needed. Is this court to understand, then, that on the day in question you followed the victim to the scene? No, I was privy to his movements in advance. How? I stole into his office in the yard and consulted his diary. The address on Fresno Street was noted in 5 p.m. entry. You illegally entered the man's office. In Japan, that alone would constitute a very serious offense. As it does in Great Britain, I assure you. Is that not the case, Lord Van Zeeks? I was aware of the possible consequences. So in summary, you are investigating the victim, and yet you refuse to tell the court why. I didn't realize British prosecutors enjoyed such freedom to choose what to divulge under oath. Dang, why'd I ever think I could defend this man? Hold it. Had you ever been to the address before? No, never. Only learned the place as a result of my investigations into Gregson's activities. There was no light inside when I entered, so it was all but impossible to make out anything. Hang on, excuse me. Okay, but at 5 p.m. the sun would have only had just gone down. It would still have been reasonably light outside. The room has a window, but it was boarded shut. Very little light found its way into the room from outside, so it was extremely murky inside. I wouldn't have noticed it if the victim wasn't already lying on the floor. There was no artificial light in the room, you say? You're quite sure? I'm quite sure that the part of the room where the body was found was very dark. I have a feeling there was a small oil lamp burning on the desk, though I can't say for certain. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Go ahead. There's a small desk in the room just here. Yes, I remember. There was an oil lamp on it, as well as the framed photograph. When I entered the room, I closed the door behind me and started towards the desk to investigate. And what did you find? Nothing. I never actually reached to the desk.
Hold it!
I'm sorry if I keep yawning. My apologies. I am really tired. Cause like, something just happened. Like I can't. If I read, I yawn a lot. I can't do it too much. So who fired the gun? I have no idea. I didn't see anybody else in the room. But you say it was very dark in there. Yes, that's right. All I can tell you is I did sense another presence. Aha, could it be that the gunshot actually originated from somewhere outside the room? No, that's out of the question. Oh, what? So what is it then? Please tell me what it is. I'm trying to make up something. I'm trying to figure out some assumptions here. Without doubt, the sound emanated from inside the room. I could smell the gunpowder. Okay, that's fair, because it was kind of close by. That is fair, though, because they have to be close by anyway, so yeah. That is fair, because the gun was, like, right dead on the spot in the daggone head, though. Well, not the head, but close range, though. So, yeah. This is going from bad to worse. And you say that's the point at which you noticed the revolver on the floor. Correct. And I foolishly picked it up. That was carelessness on my part. Indeed that was. Why would you ever do that? Presumably then, the gunshot you heard came from the firearm that you somewhat hastily took into your hands. In point of fact, my lord, I believed it did not. What? The barrel of the revolver I picked up was cold, and there was no smell of spent powder. But then, where on earth is the gun that was fired? Whilst I would like to oblige you with an answer, I'm afraid I can't. I too would dearly like to know that. Ugh. Hold on, wait a second though. This is the murder weapon, right? Can we see if there's any rounds fired or something? Can we just like look at the gun thing, like look around, like do the little click thing, see how many bullets are in that thing, and then go from there? Some nonsense like that.
Hold it!
But hold it. A man, you say? One of witnesses, I presume? That's right. One of the street merchants working on Fresno Street. Who are these merchants? A number of them had set up their stalls directly beneath the boarded window of the crime scene. A match seller, a newsmonger, and a peddler. They've all given their statements saying they heard the gunshot. Without thought of danger, they ran inside to see what had happened. Yes, Gina told us about that yesterday, didn't she? They burst through the door with some force, it would seem. They did. It almost gave me a heart attack in the process. But you're supposed to be the Reaper. The first man to come in immediately noticed the revolver in my hand and fled. A policeman patrolling on Fresno Street heard the commotion and was able to arrest the accused shortly after the incident occurred. Anyway, the man's scream drew my attention in that direction. Let's go. What do you mean by that? In what way did the body appear? I honestly can't explain it, but it's the truth. As far as I was concerned, the body hadn't been there until that point. Then suddenly, there it was. Did you perhaps hear the sound of the victim falling to the ground, but just beforehand? At that moment, what I heard was the sound of the door flying open and the scream of a man who came inside first. Nothing more. I see. After the man fled, I examined the body. I was stunned to find that it was Gregson. Most curious circumstances indeed. How the inspector was killed, or how his body seemed to appear out of nowhere. I have no idea.
Objection!
Surely the court has heard enough. My lord, the cross-examination has clearly revealed that the accused, Beric Van Zeeks, is lying on multiple fronts. What? What is that supposed to mean? Good gracious, counsel! This beat is thumping! But what do you mean by that? The defendant is lying, you say? In his testimony just now, he claims that he failed to notice the victim's body because the room was dark. That's correct. No, that's impossible. as proven by this candelabrum. How does that prove anything? If you examine the tip of the long candle, you can see it's been blown off by a powerful impact. One would assume that the projectile from the firearm passed through the victim and struck the candle. The problem comes when you consider the other two candles, which are clearly a different length. Let me see the length of it. Oh. That is fair. Okay, go ahead. Yes, I could see that only the candle that appears to have been struck by the bullet is long. We could reasonably expect someone to have lit all three candles together, which begs the question of why only one has ended up longer than the others. That must be because a particular candle was extinguished but the others were still burning. Ah! That's right. When the candle was hit by the bullet, it obviously went out. The other two candles would still have been burning, so in fact is the victim's body would have been illuminated by that light still thrown by the candelabrum. The accused claim that he couldn't see the body clearly contradicts those facts. And now to the next lie. There's more? The accused also claims never to have visited the scene of the crime before. But that's the truth. In that almost empty room, the police discovered something very unusual. A board covered from top to bottom on police departments, documents, and newspapers cuttings. Yes, that's right. We saw it too. It goes without saying that the contents of the police documents, I'll keep saying department because I'm used to saying department said documents, but anyway, cannot be divulged. However, they included a number of reports from various historical cases, the oldest of which was from 10 years ago. 10 years ago? This is starting to sound familiar. There's a common thread linking all the documents on that board. Indeed. What is this common thread, counsel? They all relate to the case prosecuted in court by Barrick Van Zeeks. All of them. And furthermore, all those cases are one in which the defendant was acquitted. Good Lord! Interestingly, none of those defendants are alive today, because all of them have been sent to their graves by the Reaper. Ah! Oh no! In short, that dingy little room is the Reaper's secret hideout and his base of operations. The Reaper's hideout? And yet the Reaper would claim never have been in his own secret hideout? No one would believe that. No, the truth is, we've been looking at this backwards. Backwards? Explain, counsel. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand. What? What? Hey, look, at least he cooking a little. I mean, he cooking a little. Order! Order! Order in the court! Very well. I hereby state the current opinion of the court. Barrick Van Zeeks is an outstanding prosecutor who has rendered great service to his country. However, it is with deep regret that I must concur with the prosecutor's Asagi's contention that the defendant's testimony exhibits a number of stark inconsistencies with the known facts. All I have done is state the truth as I know it. Kazuma's done a brilliant job as ever, showing on his experience as a defense attorney to build his prosecuted case, and it's formidable. That he ain't lying though, that is kinda good. Counsel, you will submit the board that you just shown the court as evidence. I believe it is fundamental in establishing the facts surrounding the Reaper's existence. Thank you, my lord. Alright, the notice board is into the court record. And now, the prosecution would like to call new witnesses to the stand. My bad, that's not what I meant to do. What the? What's this print, man? Let me see that. Oh, what's this? It's Naruto, look. Oh yes, it's a smudge of some kind, in fact. It looks just like a handprint. And the color, that's blood, isn't it? Oh dear, how disturbing. Alright, let's just see this real quick. There's a detail of a whole raft of cases dating back years on here, aren't there? This paper from 10 years ago is browning with age, look. Out of interest, the most recent thing appears to be this newspaper cutting here. Oh, it's the same red-haired league advertisement that Mr. Sholmes had picked out. And do you remember? There was a red hair piece at the scene too. Was Inspector Gregson an exponent of the red-headed league then? Maybe the red-headed league has something to do with it. Oh no. Witnesses who saw events unfold on the day in question. They were mentioned in the previous testimony too, if you remember. Yes, the street sellers who heard the gunshot and went to the room, rented the room. Alright, yep. Very well. Lead the witnesses in. The defendant may step down for the witness stand. Certainly, my lord. That man Beppo is broke. That man Beppo broke. That man Beppo broke. That man Beppo got kicked out of the job. He said, nah, bruh, we can't stand your kind around here. They just kicked him out to the curb and said, nah, get out of here. That man out there got a whole side of some money, bro. That man about to be broke, dog. Oh my, that's so. I'm sorry for you, Beppo, man. Look. The other guy said you were a disgrace, and he actually meant that thing. He threw you out under the bus. Okay. It's crazy. So, witnesses, state your names and occupation for the court. Names? We don't use names. Far too fancy for the likes of us. Where's the use? We're just free and easy. So what we like, live where we want to live. I give them all my vacant stare as they walk down Fresno and spin a few words into a verse for them. Ah, but I've been right in assuming that all three of you make your living by selling wares on the street. Everyone calls me gossip. I sell jaunty little tidbits to passerbys, you know? Jaunty little tidbits? Got an absolute smasher for you, sir. Right up your ginnel. It is. 6 pence is the price, and not a penny less. Wait, you're actually trying to sell it to me now? Oh, come on, sir. Don't tell me you're not interested. Try the man. Give him the money and see what it is. Pay the man, counsel. This man trying to make me pay money on what? They really saying, nah, get that money. Get that money, counsel. Give him the money. Alright. 6 pence it is. Why can't it be y'all? You won't regret it, sir. Now, got your listening ears on? It's between us. A young couple on Slight Street have just had twins. Can I kill him? The defense lawyer looks at him, just like, I paid you 6 pence. Can I kill this man? Brother. Bro, your lips is too big. That's one. Second off, run my fade, buddy. Run my fade. Like, bro. Wait, what the? Hold on, I'm not a trapper. Hold up, wait. Actually, I got an idea. I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna keep going. He just looked kind of familiar. My bad. My apologies. Is that it? No, that's not it. It's gossip, isn't it? It wants to spread. That's up to you and your mouth, of course. I've got more, you know. Want another do one? 6 pence a piece it is. If you're curious, nope, I'm not. I'm curious, yes, about what's going on just under that fat bottom lip of yours. Name of that unusual bruise or whatever that's poking out from under your collar. What about the next witness then? What name do you go by? And what do you sell? Me? I'm Venus. That's what everyone calls me. Funny, ain't it? I sell these lovely little fireworks to all the local school kids. 6 pence a pop. What do you say? It's not gonna blow up, is it? If it blows up, it's gonna hurt. Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be something bad, like it's gonna pop and blow everything up. We're exaggerated with little. Do they actually sell? Oh yeah, the second years can't get enough of my Venus firecrackers. Especially when I tell them that if they get 100, they could blow up the school. Okay, so you're one of those. Okay, good to know. Thank you for letting us know. Thank you. Not the most savory of ideas, young lady. What do you say then, eh? Wanna part with 6 pence for a pop? What? Wait, what? You want me to buy one? Tell you what, I'll let you in on a little secret. If you get 100 of them, you can blow up the whole courtroom. I mean, maybe I should for this nonsense of a game. Try the woman. Give her the money and see if she's right. Pay the woman, counsel. Are you No! Are you Bro, they want me to go to jail. Alright, I'll buy one. Lovely stuff, right then? This is something a bit extra, just for you. The Venus special, only 600 pence. 600? It's 100 of my regular fireworks. Nothing little about that, is there? And there'd be nothing left little about the punishment if I blew up the Old Bailey either. We get the firecrackers for the records. Wow, that's amazing. And the last witness, what name do you go by and what do you sell? Alright, let me see this. Have you had an idea, Mr. Naruhodo? Staring at the end of the string of the firework. Sorry, it's just that it's the Venus special. I was wondering what 600 pence worth of fireworks would sound like. Shall we find out? Bro, like, look, I feel like she got, like, look, literally, someone in the background just go out there and they just play, the RDC theme, where you just hear that little, like, crash out theme music, play that out there, to see, like, when to find out. What? But, she said it could blow up the whole courtroom! Alright, that was a fairly sizable bang. My ears still ringing, Mr. Naruhodo. It sounded almost like, exactly like a gunshot. Perfect! Perfect! I'm a thinker bee. Think of all sorts of thoughts. I think, therefore I am, therefore I think. Because I stand there on the street watching the world go on about me. They call me the observator. Get out of it, old man. Everyone calls it sandwich and you know it. So, you don't actually sell anything. A problem shared is a problem halved. As they say, I give advice, I do. And that's what it means. I don't actually sell anything, no. Come to think of it. pity. No more perch today, please. Well, we have quite a cast here, it seems. They conduct their business on Fresno Street from morning until night, my lord. And always in the same place, directly adjacent to the crime scene. I see, and thus they heard the gunshot, I suppose. Not only that, but they very bravely ran into the inside to see what was going on and witness the crime. Well, I'll be a beggared, I thought, just between us. Venus de Malo, what am I to do? What a terrible thing I saw. What I think is, if all we see is light and shadow, but playing with our eyes, is any of it real? Very well. The court will hear the formal testimony of these three witnesses now. You will describe in detail what you witnessed and heard at the time of the incident. I did that for the culture. Wait, did I hear someone? Hold up. I think I heard someone. Y'all give me a second. I think I heard someone. Give me a second. Ooh. We're back. Okay, there you go. The witness's account. We saw the whole thing from start to finish, we did. Everything from the moment they went into the building. It was less than a minute after the Reaper had gone inside. That's all we heard, a big bang. Seems to me that quick to talk is quick to walk. Gossip couldn't wait to go in and see what had happened. I ran to the room and there he was, the Reaper. Gun in hand, standing over the dead body. I was scared after death so I ran off to find a copper. These witnesses were there the whole day and saw everything. Who did they see going inside the building? Only the victim, Inspector Gregson, and the accused, Barrick Van Zeeks. I see pictures of that Reaper in the papers. I know what he looks like. And it's between us. Folks love stories like these. It made myself a tidy sum already. Wait, the room was just one of the several flats in the building. Someone from another flat could have done it. All those flats at Fresno Street are unoccupied. Of course they are. They're small, damp, dirty, and expensive to boot. The room in which the inspector was found in is the only property in the building that currently leased. We know the leaseholder's name, don't we? It's Hugh Boone. Hugh Boone. Well, it must be Bone anyway. Because they got a bone to pick with us. The testimony to the courtroom that we just heard would appear to leave little room for doubt. It's becoming increasingly difficult to see how anyone other than the defendant could have committed the crime. No. Thank you for your candor, my lord. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed with the cross-examination of the witness. Yes, my lord. In a close court like this, without a jury, the judge is the only person it's the only person that opinion matters. If I have to break down the testimony somehow. Okay, so the whole thing, let me talk to you then. When you say they, who do you mean exactly? Inspector Gregson and the defendant, Lord Van Zeeks? I suppose. The likes of us don't know the names of the high and mighty. But I'll tell you one thing, it was the old Reaper that went in last, that's for sure and certain. I like how I got that thing in my little right side. I just noticed that thing. Just behind Inspector Gregson, did they arrive at the same time as each other? No, not at all. The first fellow must have gone inside a good 15 minutes before we heard that gunshot. The victim arrived 15 minutes before? Are you sure about that? Am I sure? Am I sure? Does it seem likely that I'd forgotten a fellow with the bright red hair like that? Does it? Yeah, his hair was really red. Worded. Redder than my flaming fireworks even. That fiery red mop still burnt inside my eyelids it is. Wait a minute. You're saying that the man was redhead? Wait, did listen that chum? Hey, he was wearing redhead. And he had a big trunk with him as well. But Inspector Gregson's hair isn't red. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Seems likely that the person you saw was in fact Inspector Gregson at all, but some other third party. No, I hate to break it to you, but the witnesses are correct. What? Just have a look at this photograph of the victim taken at the scene. That works. Yes, that's Inspector Gregson, alright. Yep, so what the thing says right here is true. That his head was red and it probably belonged to Inspector Gregson. And a red hairpiece. Ah, of course. We saw one on the floor when we investigated the scene, didn't we? I still refuse to believe that Inspector Gregson wore a hairpiece though. So why on earth was he wearing something like that? The color did seem to suit the man, one might say. The photograph will be submitted as evidence. Please, counsel. The photograph of the victim has been entered into the court records. What became of the trunk that the red-headed victim was supposedly carrying? I was informed that no trunk was found at the scene. Wait, what? So it's just disappeared? What? Do you expect us to be watching the building every second, do you? Well, I mean, your name is Gossip. I would expect you to gossip about everything you see, everything you can. We definitely saw him in the dock going in, though. No question about that. Okay. Okay, can you talk a little bit more about that? If it ain't that, then we need to press the second one, I think. So you were the first person to arrive on the scene, is that right? That I was. Kicked the door open like a professional, I did. And yelled out, "What's going off here?" Lord Van Zeeks claims all he heard was a man scream, though. And was it dark in the room? No, not dark at all. There was candles burned on the wall. Really? And there was a fellow's collapsed on the floor. Explain us. It's the first thing I noticed when I got inside. I see. Even though Lord Van Zeeks claims not to have seen any such lights on the wall. So it just texts me about something? Okay, so it just texts me about some nonsense. Alright, there you go. The next thing I noticed was someone standing right beside the body. The accused, Eric Van Zeeks. That's right, the pale-faced Reaper himself. I was a little shocked, I won't deny it, but I'm no lily-livered coward. I stood my ground and gave that Reaper a cold, hard stare myself.
Excuse me.
Let me talk to you, sir. Do you have something to add, Mr. Sandwich? Or Beppo? You take your neighbor pick. Looks like Beppo. There's really nothing to me. Empty in the head I am. Just two slices with no middle. So I don't know what you could want with me. I think maybe you can just remember something. Having heard Mr. Gossip's last statement, I mean. Oh, I think is we're all nothing, really. We just try to dress ourselves up as something else. At the end of the day, we're all just street sellers. That's enough out of you, Sandwich. Keep your trap shut now. Unless you want us to make you into a real sandwich. Oh, and he saw the Reaper. He fell clean over in his backside. That's it? Oh, you rotten beggar. I told you to keep that a secret. He screamed, he did. He screamed and scrambled off on all fours. That's all I wanted to say. Mr. Gossip, is this true? The floor was dead slippery. That's why. Planted my head in a filthy pool of blood, didn't I? Yuck. What? A pool of blood? Listen here. Even when I sprawled on the floor, I still kept giving that Reaper a cold hard stare. And don't you forget it. Let's go back a little. Did you say you got blood on your hands? I did, eh? Happens to the best of us at times, doesn't it? So I was scared, so I slipped over. We can keep it between us, can't we? No, Mr. Gossip. I'm going to have to ask you to add that information to your formal testimony. Oh, if I must. The witness will amend his testimony to include the aforementioned details at once. Cuz was like, go ahead, man. Hold that thought. There's this board right here with a handprint here. I don't know about that.
Objection.
I don't know about that, cuz. You might want to talk about that. So you wiped off the blood from your hands on the floor of the room. Are you quite sure about that? Because it looks like some nonsense. That's what it looks like. Well, what else do you expect me to do? Have to do it? Does it really matter? The police found no such handprints on the floor during their investigation. What exactly is the defense asserting? Let me talk to you. If you listen, you'll find out, Prosecutor Asogi. Certainly, there were no bloody handprint found on the floor. What are you trying to say? Remember the thing that you showed out? That you showed that little thing? You were like, yeah, I'm cooking with this though. You forgot about that notice board, didn't you? There was a handprint left very clear at the scene. On the back of this notice board. Ah! Ah, yes, indeed. Indisputably a handprint in the distinctive color of blood. Hey, you're dead right. That's me right hand. I know it anywhere.
Objection.
The witness was very definitely testifying that he wiped his hands on the floor. Any handprint on the back of the board are irrelevant.
Objection.
Shut that up. No, buddy. Not if the board itself had fallen over onto the floor. And in that case, it's quite possible for the witness's handprint to have ended up there. Just look at the floor plans on the room. The notice board was on the opposite side of the corner room to the victim, in an upright position. Even if it had somehow been toppled and was lying on the floor at the time, it would have been considerable distance from the body. He could have just went back to put it on the other side. I fell over when I came across the body, so I was basically right next to the corpse, not on the other side of the room. In other words, the defense's assertion is contradictory. Yes, it is. There's a very definite contradiction here. for which there must be a reason. I take it that you formulated a proper hypothesis, Counsel, regarding this apparent discrepancy between the witness's account and the handprint at the scene. Indeed, indeed. I have, my lord. The discrepancy between the witness account and the location of the handprint is explained by the board moving. That's what I'm assuming. I don't think it was another handprint or something. The real contradiction here is the handprint itself, not where it was found. As the court can see, it's upside down. Good gracious! So it is! If the witness had put his hand against the board, the finger should be pointing upwards. What? What does that tell us? It tells us one simple fact. When this handprint was made, the board must have been lying on the floor as I previously suggested. Which means that after the incident, it must have been moved. What?
Objection!
You're claiming that somebody moved the notice board after the shooting? Indeed. Tell the court who. I don't know yet, but the point is, when you consider all the testimony we've heard so far, we can now be very clear on one point, and that would be the position of the notice board at the time of the incident, my lord. So, counsel, I must ask to clarify your assertion for the court. Go ahead. At the time of the incident, where do you maintain the notice board was situated? Okay, there you go. Yeah, the door right here. So it had to be around here-ish. Cause he said somebody's like, ah! He would have fell right there. If he was right there by the door, as he says, he should be right here. He should be right there. This is the only spot, or only possible location, immediately adjacent to the doorway. If the court would think back to the testimony given by the defendants earlier, he said that when he went into the room, it was dark, and he couldn't see the body. But by act, if the notice board had been here, the body would have been completely hidden from view. Which is good, and it makes sense! And the light from the candles would have been blocked, making the room appear darker.
Objection!
But the accused also claims that the victim's body simply appeared before him. That's true. Or, in his precise words, just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. I don't know about calling it a scream, but he was talking about me, no mistake. Because it was me that kicked the door open. If you look again at the floor plans, consider what would have happened if the door to the room was thrown open with force. That cat! And the door struck the notice board, knocking it over, and making the victim's body visible. Good gracious! My client has told nothing but the truth. He was simply described what he saw. Order! Order! Counsel! How has this not come to light before now? After the incident, somebody must have righted the board and moved it. Did someone just text me again? Oh, someone just texted me. Give me a second. There we go. I text the person back. Because the person just texted back about something. Into the position where the police, myself, and my colleague saw it when investigating the room. Witness, What have you to say for yourself?
What? Not me, my lord.
You and your fellows were there at the scene before anybody else. It goes without saying that you must have known something about the position of the notice board. The witnesses in the stand will testify again. You will each explain exactly what you did upon arriving at the scene of the crime.
Stop looking over here with your glasses at me. I get the message.
Let's go, let's talk then. Let me talk, Steve. The mystery of the moving board.
I don't know anything about that there notice board. I just wiped me hands on it. That's all. Well, don't look at me. I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing business with some second years at the time. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me. It's just a sign at the crossroads of life. It was that Reaper, I bet. He's got a face that screams bored.
Okay.
I can't see how this changes anything anyway. The detective still died when we heard the gunshot.
Alright, Beppo, you shut up. So none of you can elaborate further. Okay, y'all, so whenever we have, like, the good stopping point, we're gonna save there. Because we're gonna have to stop there because we do some stuff. So none of you can elaborate further. Shaken by the crime they witnessed, and with only the light of a few candles and an oil lamp by which to see, we can't expect these witnesses to be able to give a more precise account of what happened.
That's right, yeah. You don't pay much, pay to expect too much. Man's endless quest for knowledge that's destroying the world. That's what I think.
Do you really? In any case, as this testimony shows, it's even if the notice board was moved by someone or somebody following the instant, it makes no difference. When the gunshot rang out, the accused was the only person at the scene. In short, the only person who could have possibly have committed this crime is Beric Van Zeeks. None of this wrangling over the board changes that simple fact. Quite so. Quite so. Does the defense still wish to cross-examine the witnesses despite the circumstances? Most certainly, my lord. Very well. Then you may proceed, counsel. I was gonna say you may as well prosecute. Like, how you trying to prosecute my own people now? Like, dang. Alright. Hold up. You say you weren't there? Let me talk to you then. What do you mean? When you say you were doing business with them, you mean you were selling them the fireworks?
Yeah, what else? There's the Priory School just around the corner, see? Those cheeky little so-and-sos. I've got a plan to blow their school to Kingdom Come. So I've been telling on them. And their teachers know what they've been up to.
Oh? You have?
Yes. And yeah, we don't want anyone to get hurt. So let the school know that the kids are playing with dodgy toys. Then, praise the Lord, the teachers take all the fireworks off them. And then, praise the Lord again. The kids all come back to me to buy more. Everyone's happy, see?
Well, hey, it's a point. What a racket.
Of course. And sometimes the teachers give me a little bonus to thank me for letting them know. It's a busy life. Old life, selling explosives.
Venus is a skillful goddess indeed.
Well, telling bare-faced lies is my kind of thing, really. I'm so good at it.
Excuse me.
Let me talk to you, sir. Something wrong, Mr. Sandwich? Or Mr. Did It? There's that one. That's funny. Alright.
If I said it was, could we just leave it at that? Would that be the end of it?
No. Then Miss Venus' statement just now brings something to mind, perhaps.
Philosophical thoughts, deep philosophical thoughts.
Hmm?
Let's say there was a great liar. And that great liar said without batting an eye, telling barefaced lies is my kind of thing. I'm ever so good at it. But would those words of hers be lies too? Or the truth? In which case she's not a liar. Oh, it's a hellish paradox, that one, don't you think? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But it seems to me that just that Miss Venus has been lying, aren't you? I'm not trying to get dogged on. Please don't let me get cooked. What are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble, are you? Keep on like that. And I'll wrap you whole body in firecrackers and set them off. That'll give you something to trouble about. You have a startling, disturbing mind behind that sweet and innocent face, young lady. So, Miss Venus has lied in her testimony. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sandwich? Well, if it means I'll be burying the fire for the rest of my days, so be it. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Can you elaborate, please, sir?
Oh, but I'm around here, headed for the room where the gunshot seemed to come from. But there was someone else who crept up the stairs behind him, too. That's right. That rotten liar over there.
Do you mean to say that you did in fact betake yourself to the scene of the crime after all?
What did I tell you, eh? I said I was good at telling the barefaced lies, didn't I?
Yes, you mentioned it.
Well, that revelation rocked the whole courtroom, didn't it?
Who knew firecrackers packed such a punch? So you did indeed visit the scene of the crime, did you, young lady? Good grief!
Well, now you come to mention it, I suppose perhaps I do clearly remember climbing the stairs to the room, yeah.
Either you clearly remember it, or you don't. Well, I shall consider a fitting punishment for this perjurious act later. For the time being, you will immediately amend your testimony to reflect the truth.
Oh yes, my lord, of course.
Okay, we're gonna press it and we're gonna stop it here. Alright. There you go. We're gonna stop it here. Okay, thank goodness. Alright. Alright, y'all. We're going to stop it here. Yeah, we are going to stop it here. I will be ready on some, this adventure camp. But we will be back on this tomorrow. I will see y'all a bit later, though. Well, in a few minutes, though. Peace and love, y'all. Yeah.